Good morning, my name is Frank Fortunato. This is a broadcast of CATEX TV coming from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Friday, June 24th, 2011. Some bulletins before we go to our main news. There have been a series of bombings in 3 cities in Myanmar. No reports yet on any deaths or injuries. However, it has been attracting some attention. Also, U.S. durable goods orders increased 1.9% for the month of May. That's a hopeful sign. And also, there seems to be some accord that's now been reached on the Greek debt issue. So the stock markets around the world are responding accordingly in an upward direction, finally, thank goodness. Well, we'll go to our main news. There's been some seismic activity in Alaska. 2 earthquakes, each with a magnitude of 7.2, struck about 90 miles east of Atka, Alaska. They were at a depth of about 24 miles. The quake was felt through the central Aleutian Islands as far east as Dutch Harbor. There were no reports of damage or injuries. A tsunami alert had been posted but was taken down after about an hour. Again, there's no indication of any damage or any injuries whatsoever, and there is no wave coming, although these were 2 pretty big quakes. Well, this is the news that really has been expected now for a while. It seems that the European Union member states have shelved the introduction of Solvency II for another year. The Council of Europe, on which the member states sit, has agreed to a proposal that Solvency II should come into effect beginning on January 1, 2014. This would be a year later than the previous deadline, which was New Year's Day 2013. You may recall that we reported last week that EU Internal Markets Commissioner Michel Barnier floated the idea that the directive should have a so-called soft launch in a speech to European insurers last week. That was overruled by his superior, Minister Montalvo, who said that there would be absolutely no delay in the 2013 implementation date. Meanwhile, the head of the FSA, Hector Sanz, said that, of course, we always take a pragmatic approach, a signal interpreted by many in the market that the FSA would be fine with another year delay. In the European Union, supervisors or state insurance commissioners, country insurance commissioners, if you will, shall have until July 1, 2013 to require insurers to provide an implementation plan providing evidence of the progress made toward the application of Solvency II. The contents of these plans has yet been specified, but you can reasonably expect that they would contain detailed information demonstrating readiness to comply with all of Solvency II's requirements. So this is pretty big news, actually, and I'm sure there's a big sigh of relief through the community. We'll talk to Sean McGovern about that next week. Swiss Re has done another runoff deal. Belgian insurance group Ageas, formerly Fortis, has agreed to transfer its reinsurance runoff liabilities to Swiss Re. Those liabilities are contained in a captive called Intra-Inco. The captive underwrote the reinsurance liabilities of current and former Ageas insurance subsidiaries, including AG Insurance, Amlin Corporate Insurance. Intra-Inco has not written any new business since 2009. The transaction follows pretty closely after Swiss Re's purchase of $950 million of runoff business from Zurich down the street. Validus in Bermuda says that it expects net losses between $55 and $75 million from the severe storms that ripped through the U.S. in April and May. This is according to Equicat that these may be the most costly tornado year tallies ever in U.S. history. And in Saudi Arabia, Lloyd's broker Robert Fleming, RFIB, has been granted a license to broker insurance and reinsurance business in Saudi Arabia. Following the receipt of the license, RFIB has now established a full office in Riyadh. It's going to be headed by Anthony Harris. RFIB's new Saudi office will initially handle reinsurance business. RFIB has been handling risks from the Saudi market for almost 30 years, but last year the Saudi Monetary Authority decided to enforce its existing rules more strictly, requiring foreign brokers operating in the country to acquire a license. Meanwhile, in North Dakota right now, the city of Minot, North Dakota, is preparing for an inundation from a huge flood coming from the river that runs through it. It seems as if the town has pretty much been evacuated. Undoubtedly, some damages will be resulting, and we'll report on that on Monday. In the meantime, have a good weekend. Thank you for watching, and we will see you then.